2018, please look toward the balcony for your photograph. Good evening. As salutatorian of the class of 2018, I would like to welcome Superintendent Kirian, Principals Mr. Lally and Mr. DeLuca, Senior Class Advisors Mrs. DiFrancesco and Mrs. Diploma, our faculty, staff, distinguished members of the community, parents, family, and friends to West Scranton High School's 76th commencement ceremony. My fellow graduates, we convene this evening to celebrate a significant event in our lives, the transition from adolescence to adulthood. We say goodbye to these familiar halls and go forth to pursue our personal lofty goals. This rite of passage is a West Scranton tradition that has spanned several generations of invader families, mine included. We have come a long way since our elementary school days. Tonight's commencement represents the culmination of hard work, perseverance, and at times some fun too. The most valuable lesson we have learned during our time at West Scranton High School is to possess pride. Pride in ourselves, in our school, and in our traditions. Our school is unique in that it is still a comprehensive neighborhood high school that enjoys unwavering community support. This support encourages and motivates us to reach our goals, achieve beyond what we can dream, and conquer what comes our way. We have been fortunate recipients of superior education, not just in these classrooms, but in life as well. The faculty of West Scranton works tirelessly to provide us an education that will prepare us for greater paths. They have instilled in us lessons that we will carry into our futures. They have taught us patience, dedication, and a work ethic, along with academic knowledge. They inspired our best, expect us to rise to their challenges, and molded us into the adults we now are on this stage. To all the teachers of West Scranton, we sincerely thank you for your professionalism, dedication, and patience during these last 4 years. I know that your jobs are not easy, and we appreciate your daily efforts on our behalf. Some of the most valuable support we have received has come from our parents and families. Without them preparing us for this special moment in our lives and readying us for the real world, we would probably not be here this evening. They help to build our confidence and to grow into mature young adults who are ready to meet our future challenges. They have been there with us through thick and thin, at every laugh and every tear. The ceremony is not just a celebration of our achievements, but also a celebration of their efforts in raising and loving us. Class of 2018, this is a bittersweet moment I've contemplated often. We have accomplished so much together and in such little time. We are both the products and future of this school, of this city, of this state, and of this nation. There's nothing that we cannot do. I am so proud of you all. I could not have asked for a better group of friends to spend the past 4 years of my life with. Together we have laughed, cried, smiled, and always been there to support each other. No matter where we travel or go in the world, we will always have our shared memories. We are now proud alumni of West Scranton High School. We will always be invaders. We will always bleed blue. In closing, I would like to leave you with these choice words from Muhammad Ali. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. Class of 2018, in our futures, nothing is impossible. Thank you. And now James Greenfield will lead us in the singing of the national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what
give the invocation.
On behalf of West Scranton High School's class of 2018, I wish to thank Dr. Kirian, honorable school board members, administration, faculty, family, and friends for joining us in this celebration of our accomplishments. This evening marks an ending and a beginning. We have walked and walked these hallways and attended class after class every day for 4 years. And now, the time has come to depart. The future beckons us. West Scranton High School has been a second home for many of us, a setting of learning and development. While the reality of never having classes here again may gladden some, others are saddened or perhaps even frightened. Yet, we aspire to continue growing personally and intellectually. As we attend college, enter the military and the workforce, we will carry with us the experiences and memories we created and shared at this school. We have been blessed with the innumerable sacrifices, unwavering support, and unconditional love from our teachers, families, and friends. For all of this, we are grateful. We would not be here this evening without you. We ask that you continue to bless and support us as we forge our individual futures with the knowledge and skills we garnered here at West Scranton High School. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Lainey Lavelle to give the presidential address.
Good evening, and welcome to this year's commencement ceremony. Before I begin, I would like to take a moment and thank those who have helped us get to this point. To our Superintendent, Dr. Alexis Kirian, our principals, Mr. Joseph Lally and Mr. Rob DeLuca, our senior class advisors, Ms. Elizabeth DiFrancesco and Ms. Lori Stabrilla, faculty, and staff. On behalf of myself and the class of 2018, we thank you. 4 years ago, we stepped into the hall of hallways of West Scranton High School. We were young, naive, and unaware of what the future held. Coming into high school, it seemed that graduation was just a distant dream, and it would take an eternity to get there. In reality, that eternity was 4 short years. Throughout this time, we have made lifelong friends and many memories that we will cherish forever. As much as we have complained, we all know that there will be a special place in our hearts for West Scranton High School. I find myself experiencing a multitude of emotions while standing at this podium. I have thought a lot about what I would say to you tonight, and I discovered that fitting all 4 years of our high school life in a few minutes was more difficult than I imagined. Before we receive our diploma and step foot into the future, let's look back at how we got here. We were once eager elementary school students who lined up outside of school with our Disney or Nickelodeon character backpacks hanging off our shoulders. Our only care in the world was when cheesy breadsticks was on the lunch menu, or if we were able to go outside for recess. We did not have to study for finals at the end of the year. Instead, we were more concerned about who would be our teacher for the next school year and if our friends would be in our class. Back then, we did not realize that those were the good old days. Then, we transformed into awkward, race-based middle school students. At that time, there were more cliques than ever, and our friends meant more than anything else. In middle school, we would all talk about what our futures would look like, but we had no idea that so much would change. We had very few responsibilities at this time. By the end of middle school, we were sad that we had to move on to high school. Some of you may remember, we cried like babies at the 8th grade dance. If we thought graduating from 8th grade was bittersweet, then tonight will be considerably worse. Finally, we became high school students. We were now being treated as young adults, and we were held to a higher standard. With more freedom came more responsibility. As freshmen, we were told that these years would fly by. In the beginning of freshman year, we dreaded getting food in the cafeteria, and we worried about what the upperclassmen thought of us. But as we got comfortable with our new setting, we looked up to the upperclassmen for guidance and advice. We were told to get involved, and we listened to them as we began to participate in more clubs and activities. By sophomore year, we became more familiar with where each classroom was. We started to form groups and learn exactly where we fit in. We were beginning to find ourselves. Then, junior year came along. We entered what is considered the toughest year in high school. This was when we realized we took our first 2 years of high school for granted. Most of us struggled to balance sports, clubs, and homework. We watched one another stress, cry, and panic over schoolwork. As we watched each other struggle, though, we were able to watch each other grow. We lifted each other up, and even on our worst days, there was always someone to make us smile. Our junior year pushed us beyond our limits. But if it was not for our teachers challenging us and our classmates encouraging us to endure, we would not be prepared for the real world. At the beginning of our senior year, we felt as though graduation could not come fast enough. I think we can all agree that on a daily basis, we would hear at least one person say, "I cannot wait to graduate." Now, as we are standing on this stage, ready to receive our diplomas, we wish we could experience the freedom of high school life just for a little bit longer. Throughout our senior year, we have experienced many laughs. Many of you have played in your last game, took your last bow on this stage, or went to your last club meeting. We experienced our last spirit week, bell game, and our last school dance. These are the moments we will miss. We will miss being in class together and conversing about our plans for the weekend. We will miss the pep rallies and Mr. Lally's use of words we have never heard of in his morning and afternoon announcements. We never believed he knew what they meant either. We will miss scavenger hunt and sacrificing our well-being to win, just like Hannah Decker did when she broke her hand during tug of war. I know my parents and I will miss everyone gathering at my house and spending hours there during scavenger hunt weekend. It was such a fun weekend when we were able to bond and enjoy our time with one another. Simply put, we will miss passing by one another in the hallways. Whether we believe it or not, we will miss this school. It has given us numerous opportunities to find our niche and become involved in something greater than ourselves. The memories made in the last 4 years were primarily due to these opportunities. Without the teachers, staff, and friends made at West Scranton High School, we would not be standing here today. Before I finish, I would like to ask all of you for a favor. We live in a world today where acts of kindness are few and far between. Too often, people find it easier to criticize and belittle one another than to spread positivity. Every day, on any news channel, Facebook article, or tweet, there will be more coverage of negative things happening in this world than the positive things that make the world worth living in. Class of 2018, as we move on to attend college, join the military, or enter the workforce, I encourage and ask you to not be afraid to speak from your heart and to always live the truth. Allow yourself to appreciate the little things around you. Most importantly, be good to people. A nice gesture, a smile, or even a simple "have a good day" can change someone's mood instantly. You never know what someone is enduring. Help someone see the sun where they once saw clouds. Believe in those around you and support them in their endeavors. In the world we live in, we don't just need doctors, teachers, or lawyers. We also need people who are not afraid to be bold. We need people who perform random acts of kindness, who go out of their way for someone and who are willing to make a change in this world. Vincent van Gogh once said, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." One act of kindness will inspire someone, who will then pay it forward to another person, eventually creating a chain that will be infinite. Our impact on the world will be far-reaching. Class of 2018, look to the right and left of you. You are surrounded by classmates and friends. These are the individuals that you have grown up with. These surrounding you are the ones who have seen you struggle and strive. They have seen you at your best and at your worst. They are the ones who have helped you succeed and arrive at this moment. When we exit this building tonight, we will part ways to move on to the next enterprise in life. We will make new friends, we will start a new journey, and these moments will become memories. In this moment, appreciate each other's presence and reflect on the precious memories you have made in this school. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not express my appreciation for the class of 2018. It was a great honor to be your class president. Honestly, it is difficult to put into words how much you mean to me and how much you've impacted my life. I was privileged to get to know each and every one of you, and I know you all have great potential. I could not ask for a greater class. I genuinely enjoyed every second of being class president. If it were not for all of you, my job as class president would not have been so enjoyable. After all of my Facebook posts reminding you for pictures and yearbook information, I can finally say that after tonight, I will not be annoying you as much. As a whole, this class is filled with ambitious, intelligent, and exceptional people. There are future doctors, politicians, military personnel, teachers, and parents on this stage. We all have our purposes in this world, and I want to wish each and every one of you the best in your future endeavors. As we close this chapter of our lives, there is a universal truth we all have to face. All things eventually end. Although endings are inevitable, they are something most of us dislike. The final chapter of a book, the last day of summer, parting ways with a close friend. Endings are ultimately goodbyes, and tonight is one of them. When we step off this stage, we will say goodbye to everything that was familiar to us. We will say goodbye to the friends we have made and the teachers who have helped us along the way. We will be forced to come out of our comfort zones. We will move on, but that does not mean we will forget the people that we have met along the way. We have all made an impact on one another, and each of us will carry those impacts with us forever. Class of 2018, always remember to never forget where you came from and always bleed blue. I would now like to introduce Alex Opamisai to give the valedictory address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to West Scranton High School's 2018 commencement ceremony. Honorable Scranton School Board members, Dr. Kieran, Mr. Lally, Mr. DeLuca, family members and friends, thank you for being with us this evening. I would be remiss if I did not recognize and thank especially my family. As immigrants, they encountered numerous obstacles when they first came to the United States. Yet, they managed to build a foundation for me and my siblings. Growing up as a first-generation Asian American, I've witnessed hard work, intelligence, perseverance, and family dedication exercised every single day of my life. This has had a profound impact on me. Mom, Dad, Ryan, Lily, Grandma, and Grandpa, I'm deeply grateful for and honored by the examples you provide. I stand on your shoulders this evening as a valedictorian for class of 2018. I love you guys. Moreover, I'm truly grateful for the academic, athletic, and social experiences that I garnered and enjoyed at West Scranton High School. Now, she may be in need of some improvements and additional resources, especially air conditioning. But this august, historic building is a special school because it's our school. To my teachers and coaches, thank you for equipping me with the requisite skills, lessons, and knowledge as I commence my collegiate journey. I'm especially thankful for the guidance I received from Mrs. O'Brien, my biology teacher. She has played a significant role in my aspiration to become a physician because she shared the same ambitions. As a student, Mrs. O'Brien engaged in every possible activity that would increase her probability of achieving her goals. Whether it be joining multiple clubs, shadowing a plethora of doctors, or enrolling in extra classes, Mrs. O'Brien always went the extra mile, and I thought I worked too much. Eventually, she enrolled in medical school and excelled. She was on her way to becoming a physician, and then she realized that she didn't want to anymore. Now, when I first heard this, I was shocked. Personally, I would not want to get that far and suddenly stop. So, being as curious as I am, I asked her, Mrs. O'Brien, do you regret your decision at all? She replied, nope, I love being a teacher. Mrs. O'Brien, I want to thank you for deciding to be a teacher instead of a doctor, because I've had the pleasure of learning from an intellectual who has experience in the path I want to pursue. Ironically, your story has inspired me to chase my aspirations more assiduously than ever. Because I now possess a map to my future destination, and for that I am grateful for your hard work and dedication. Mrs. O'Brien has also reinforced the notion that at some point in our lives, we're all going to make a drastic decision. And afterwards, we move on from the past, live in the present, and await the future. Speaking of time, it feels just like yesterday when I first stepped into WSHS as a frightened freshman. Freshman year was an extremely unique and significant experience. Class of 2018, I'm certain that many of us possess mixed emotions regarding this period. Some of us were excited. Some of us could not wait to leap right into the high school experience. Yet some of us were scared. Some of us were afraid of the nebulous nature of what was to come throughout the next 4 years. This included me. In fact, I may have been the worst case. However, I know that I speak for some of my peers when I say that freshman year of West Scranton High School was an epiphany in some ways. As humans, when confronted with an existential crisis, we have 3 options. We can migrate, we can hibernate, or we can adapt. In other words, we can run away from our problems, we can pretend that we don't have any problems, or we can embrace our problems and we can attempt to solve them. Friends, as freshmen, we learned to step into the muddy puddles even when we didn't want to. We learned to endure adversity and work hard to surmount it in the classroom, on the athletic field, and in life. Over the past 4 years, I have witnessed a tremendous amount of grit in this class. It's this sense of grit that ultimately led us to this stage this evening. We have transformed significantly since those awkward and highly embarrassing freshman days. We're now more knowledgeable, more insightful, more self-aware, and even more motivated to parlay our success here into our future endeavors. When I look at all of you right now, I see young adults ready to blaze their individual paths. Because believe it or not, parents, we're adults now. Or at least we'll pretend to be. Some of us look forward to another 4 long years of unbearable stress, immense debt, sleepless nights, and unhealthy amounts of ramen noodle dinners in higher education. Some will take a gap year in order to really consider what they plan on doing with their lives. Others will enter the workforce in order to help their families. And finally, some have enlisted in the military to serve and protect our beneficent, exceptional country. I respect all of you, and I wish you the best of luck. On stage with me this evening are people ready to tackle the world, ready to make an impact on society, ready to make a dent in the universe. For these reasons, I'm so proud to say that I'm graduating with some great people who, unbeknownst to them, have motivated and inspired me. I believe that being a valedictorian is more than just having the highest GPA. I mean, it's special and obviously helpful in applying to colleges. But for me, it's really a reminder of both the hard work I performed and modeled after my family in order to advance myself as an intellectual and the many influences of my talented peers. It would be untrue and unjust if I said I am valedictorian simply because of my own efforts. My smart and competitive classmates pushed me to excel, and I owe much of my development and success to them. Friends, where we will end up in the future is likely the question that most of us ponder. Wise men say to take it one day at a time. I just can't resist the temptation of contemplation. For many of us, the future is really just a big, fat question mark. We can say what we will about our plans for the future, but we can never be certain. Perhaps all of our dreams will materialize and we'll meet with successes we could only imagine. And then again, maybe we won't. For the record, I'm not a pessimist. I want to be real and honest with you. I mean, let's face it, one of the truisms about life is that it can be irrational and unfair sometimes. Life can give us hope, then crush us shortly thereafter. Life can help us march up a mountain, then push us right back down to the bottom. However, there's always a solution. I say to my fellow classmates that you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it. Now, I wish I wrote those words, but I didn't. Rudyard Kipling did in his poem, If. And I thank Mr. Evans for introducing me to these helpful and inspiring words. Friends, we must continue to endure the adversity that life throws at us in the midst of our individual enterprises. We are neither special nor extraordinary because we face hardships and obstacles. We all do. Rather, what makes us unique is our confronting these obstacles and overcoming them with diligence, intelligence, and patience. Therein lies our purpose and meaning. Class of 2018, it has been a sincere pleasure and privilege to be your valedictorian. Congratulations to all of you, and see you later.
I would now like to invite Mr. Lally up on stage.
Good evening and welcome, Dr. Carrion, members of the school board, Commissioner O'Malley, faculty, parents, and friends to the West Scranton High School 2018 graduation. I'd like to personally thank Mrs. DeFran, Mrs. Chorba, and Mrs. Strabrilla for playing a vital role in organizing today's ceremony. A special thanks also goes out to our faculty and guidance department for continually assisting all of our students in reaching today's ceremony. Students who would not be here without their help, and you know that. Let's give them a round of applause, please. I have sat at many high school graduations, and I have to say, the speeches were excellent, on point, and I can't thank Lainey LaBelle enough for her kind comments on my comprehension of the English vocabulary. If we can give them a round of applause, thank you. Now, to the class of 2018, please give your parents and guardians a heartfelt round of applause for supporting you throughout this journey. Please do that now, guys. Your parents have been your friends, your mentors, at times your psychologists, and always a never-ending ATM machine. Parents, I guarantee you that will continue, as I have 4 small children and it doesn't stop when I go to a Little League game and they constantly need $1 for Swedish fish. I guess it only gets worse. As your experience at West Scranton High School comes to a close, I want to assure all of you your time has been well spent. A recent survey of major CEOs at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland in January listed the following as the most critical skills employers look for. They are problem solving, resiliency, creativity, and a willingness to learn. The education you gained here from our faculty allowed you to acquire those skills and so much more. You are in good hands. It has been my pleasure in these 2 years to watch you guys both succeed academically and socially. And I'm very proud to be part of that journey with you. You have been nothing but kind and courteous to administration, faculty, and staff, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I would like to leave you with a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Although Mr. Evans didn't introduce me to him, I introduced myself to Mr. Emerson. Please continue this quote and keep this in your hearts for your next journey. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. And I truly believe that. Thank you and congratulations.
I would now like to invite Superintendent Dr. Kirian up on stage.
All right. Thank you for the introduction. Michael, Julia, James, Lainey, and Alex. Thank you for opening tonight's ceremony. You've had most meaningful words, and I hope your peers will take those to heart. Well done. Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. As a 1966 graduate, oh my goodness, and the proud superintendent of the Scranton School District, it's a great honor for me to be a part of the West Scranton High School Class of 2018 graduation. Although every day throughout the school year is important, graduation day is the most special, as it is the culmination of a 13-year journey for our graduates. Speaking of our graduates, good evening, invincible invaders. Yes, all right. As Mr. Lally noted, this is a very special class. In this group are excellent student council and class officer leaders, others who have influenced by your exquisite literary, dramatic, and musical grace and eloquence. Some who have set the pace in your classes by the force of phenomenal intellect, and others who have contributed greatly by your athletic accomplishments. It also has been a year in which students face devastating national events that young people should not have to experience. Through it all, the invincible invaders demonstrated their strength. Tonight, we celebrate your achievements and commend you for the ways you responded to current local, state, and national events. Before I continue with my formal comments, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to two seniors, Jimmy Greenfield and Maria Benedict, who represented West Scranton High School on the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, along with 8 other students from across the district. As part of the council, these students heard firsthand the challenging issues facing the state of Pennsylvania from the governor's cabinet members. The hope is that their experience will initiate discussions with their peers that will result in solutions to these issues not only in Pennsylvania but globally. So Jimmy and Maria, thank you. Graduates, let's take a moment to reflect on the people who influence, teach, mentor, guide, advise, and support you. Our honorary invaders, your parents, guardians, grandparents, relatives, and friends, the esteemed members of the Board of Education, those present this evening, Board President Barbara Dixon, and Directors Mark McAndrew, Katie Gilmartin, Paige Gebhardt-Cognetti, and Tom Schuster. Those directors not able to be here with us tonight, Vice President Robert Casey, Carol Oleski, Paul Duffy, Tom is here, and Bob Lesh. Our central level administrators, you don't see them often, but they're in the background supporting you. The awesome West Scranton High School family, Principal Joe Lally, and the outstanding faculty and staff. Also, Mr. Rob DeLuca, who stepped up to the plate and assisted upon the departure of Mr. Zupan. Tonight, you're surrounded by influencers, people who love and care about you, who shared their resources, time, and expertise to mold you into the fine young men and women sitting before us tonight. Let's have a round of applause for those people. Looking back, you may be wondering, however you got here, where did the years go? I heard you comment about that. It's been my experience when talking to graduates, hear them say, it was a dream. A dream that someday I would hear my name called, walk across the stage, and receive my diploma. Of course, some were more expressive and added to the cheers of the crowd, and others referenced the long-awaited parties afterwards. So tonight, with feelings of joy and fear, which some of you have expressed, you have reached another milestone in your journey, another dream come true. There are some things about dreams that you probably already figured out. Dreams are powerful. Dreams give a life purpose. Dreams make the impossible possible. Dreams take normal humans and turn them into extraordinary people. Few people start out with the intention of changing the world through their dreams, but in life's journey, we find that our dreams are shared by others, which ignites a passion, and your dream grows wings. Think about what you might have done to bring tonight's dream to life. You realized that it was okay to have a dream. You may have written it down somewhere, marked it on your electronic calendar, or drew yourself in a graduation cap when doodling in class. You may have talked to or texted your friends for help about how to make it to the finish line, especially when things got rough that junior year. Or you may have discussed the things that were required of you with your family, principal, teachers, or counselors. Most importantly, you had to connect dreaming with doing. And that is the key to success. We all have dreams, but what sets the dreamer apart from the achiever are the burning passion, motivation, and boldness to convert dreams into reality. I challenge you to be willing to dream again. It doesn't matter what you dream, as long as it's important to you. Where your dreams will take you is yet to be known. But if you are willing to stretch your imagination, you will discover limitless possibilities, and something remarkable will emerge. The moment you say yes to your dreams, no matter what they are, you are saying yes to create a better world. You become a change maker. West Scranton High School invaders, each of you can leave your imprint on the world, as many who have gone before you have done. If you believe in a better world, then dare to dream, expecting that it will take time, it will take patience, and it will take hard work. Author John C. Maxwell tells us to dream big and to know that we are not constrained by our current environment or circumstances. He also warns it's not enough to dream big. If you are to accomplish your dreams, you must be bold and daring. Bold people stand out from others. They not only dream big, but are confident, courageous, and committed to fulfilling their dreams. People who choose to be bold and inspiring, not just because they dream big, but aren't afraid to take risks to realize your dream. People who unleash the bold within themselves get things accomplished. They are passionate in their beliefs, and they create and initiate change. Those who are bold ignite passion. The dream then becomes greater than the love of self. I want to leave you tonight with a summary of a passage credited to Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, that the moment one commits, providence moves in. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never have otherwise incurred. A whole stream of events, which could not have been imagined, ensues in the favor of the one who commits. We live in a time where it is more possible than ever for you to fulfill your dreams. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Again, whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Class of 2018, the world needs your dreams. Congratulations.
I would now like to invite Mr. DeLuca up on stage.
Good evening, fellow invaders in class of 2018. At this time, I'd like to introduce the class officers and make a few special acknowledgments. Senior Class President, Lady LaBelle. First Vice President, Michael Lobbs. Second Vice President, Madison Trotta. Corresponding Secretary, Madison Vinskowski. Recording Secretary, Emily White. And Treasurer, Michael Kelly. We have 5 students who have joined the Armed Forces. Who are members of the National Honor Society. Nine students who are members of the Career Technology Center Honor Society. Three students who are members of the International Thespian Society, Troop 8700. 115 students who have received the Invader Award for 2 or more years of participation in school activities, including and 128 students who have been accepted at colleges, universities, or specialized schools. $3,523,803 that have been awarded scholarships and grants to members of the class of 2018. attendance for the 4 years, Shirley Bronson, John Garrity, Hope Mangan, and Alex Sapatnasan. I will now read the class honors. The following are the top 10 students of the class of 2018. 10, Morgan Straub. 9, Brianna Hall. 8, Kirsten Bellis. 7, Blaney Lavelle. 6, Hamina Maldonado. 5, Rebecca Johnson. 4, Julia Montevecchi. 3, James Greenfield. 2, Michael Lotz. And the top student for the class of 2018 is Alex Sapatnasan. In history, number 3, Hamina Maldonado. Number 2, James Greenfield. Number 1, Michael Lotz. In math, 3, James Greenfield. 2, Hamina Maldonado. 1, Alex Sapatnasan. In English, Hamina Maldonado. 2, Julia Montevecchi. 1, Alex Sapatnasan. In science, 3, James Greenfield. 2, Michael Lotz. 1, Alex Sapatnasan. In business, 3, Connor McCulligan. 2, Ladina Luga. 1, Madison Viskovsky. In Spanish, 3, Hakeem Barr. 2, John Garrity. 1, Rebecca Johnson. In French, 1, Hannah Decker. In German, 2, Thomas Morgan. 1, Kirsten Bellis. In Latin, Nicola Pugliese. 2, Dylan Walton. 1, Brianna Hall. CTC, 3, Nicole Kaiser and Ryan Cullen, tie. 2, Nicholas Carino. And number 1, David Hawk.
I would now like to invite Mr. Lally back up on stage.
We will now proceed with the certification of those students. Will the graduates please stand and remain standing for the certification? As principal of West Scranton High School, I hereby certify that these students have completed the courses required by the Scranton School District and are entitled to receive their diplomas. I call upon Dr. Kirian, Superintendent of the Scranton Schools, who will certify the students.
You ready? Okay. Your principal, Mr. Lally, has certified that you have successfully completed all the requirements prescribed in the respective courses of West Scranton High School. By the authority vested in me through the Board of Education and the State of Pennsylvania, it is a privilege and a pleasure to present to you the Diploma of West Scranton High School, certifying that you are now entitled to all its rights, privileges, and responsibilities of a graduate thereof.
I would now like to invite Mrs. Diploma to stand on stage.
After the graduates receive their diplomas, they will fill in the aisles of the auditorium. It is from there that they will sing the West Scranton High School alma mater. At the conclusion of this song, the graduates will exit the auditorium through the back doors and head to the girls' gymnasium. The audience is asked to please remain in your seats until the graduates have completely exited the auditorium. You may then join the graduates in the girls' gymnasium for some light refreshments. On behalf of myself and Mrs. Elizabeth DeFrancesca, we would like to thank you, the students of the class of 2018, for all the hard work, patience, and respect you have shown us throughout this past year. You have given us memories that we will treasure and hold close to our hearts. As senior class advisors, we work closely with the students to get them to where they are today. And in all honesty, although this class has been challenging at times, when all is said and done, the West Scranton High School class of 2018 turned out to be one of our favorites. As each graduate is called forth to receive his or her diploma, please hold your applause until the end so that all names can be clearly heard. Okay, graduates, we're going to do one row at a time, so you can, just everybody but the front row may sit. Because you'll be standing for a while. Okay, here we go. Rachel Roach. Amanda Rinker. Laura Bergstrom. We'll get this, I promise. Morgan Straub. Brianna Hall. Kirsten Bellis. Jimena Maldonado. Rebecca Johnson. Wineshka Marrero Maldonado. Nicole Kaiser. Christina Brems Thomas. Jenny Vong Meny. Gabrielle Pagnotti. Za Sing Zo. Julia Montevecchi. Alex Sopapisai. James Greenfield. Michael Lobbs. Lainey Lavelle. Row 2. Noah Biana. Brandon Goney. Latrell Smith. Julian Roman. Dylan Past. Simeon Biangiro. Tommy Rodriguez. Victoria Melendez. Maria Benedict. Sabina Abdulova. Rochelle Lucero. Autumn Reitner. Emily Baum. Nastasia McClough. Deani Bailey. Ryan Alverio. Matias. James Sullivan. Yes. Shane Garrity. Nathan Collars. Connor McColligan. Gavin Malarkey. Clifford Steinrock. Niraj Danrage. Hakim Barr. Naeem Kendricks. Griselda Salachi. Katie Boyle. Rosalind Cortez. Casey Zhang. Selena Feliciano. Anaye Williams. Haley Sherman. Hannah Fideli. Nathaniel Greenberg. Kyle Ogden. Jose Martinez. Ahmad McKnight. Andre Shalette. Anthony Hill. And Larry Kendricks. David Holly. Caden Brown. Tyler Williams. David Pilger. Merlin Campusano. Daniel Amaya. Ashley Walls. Madison Trotta. Ashley Frometa Vasquez. Amber Hawkins. Shirley Bronson. Michaela O'Hara. Emily White. Molly Killian. Robert Anderson. Adam Nitch. Stephen Wheeler. Dylan Walton. Owen Evans. Seth Reese. And Michael McIntyre. David Acevedo. Scott Cristiano. Thomas Morgan. Kevin Petrozello. Dominic Scarpa. Vincenzo Gelati. Hannah Decker. Jillian Williams Mayers. Destiny Cristiano. Keelan McNally. Tyler Kravka. Samantha Ferry. Sarah McCauley. Jessica Coben. Stayshawn Moore. Michael Kelly. Kyle Dumback. Maximilian Covey. Kyle Jones. Nicholas Guarino. Isaiah Williams. Jack Fendrick. Thomas Ivanoff. Nasir Johnson. Joseph Bruno. Thomas Myers. May Chinskill. Katrina Suryavan. Christine Cossack. Shelby Neal. Inara Correa. Alyssa Espinoza. Aaliyah Lorero. Daviani Nindelo Santos. Gregory Matievich. John Herger. Patrick Doherty. Reginald Dickey. Samuel Hiller. And Dylan Rogers. Deshaun Liggins. Ryan Cullen. Noah Anderson. Daniel Ulrich. Jason Lepisco. Christian Guerra. Juliana Beidler. Stephanie Cooney. Serena Cosgrove. Jaina Sullivan. Madison Fashauer. Christiana Bannon. Alina Maroney. Haley Steinrock. Nicola Pugliese. Gerard Thomas. Julian Rivera. Jonathan Penman. Ryan Schmidt. And Austin Greaves. Justin Medici. Joshua Hart. David Hawk. Shane Parker. John Garaby. Noah Worsnick. Alyssa Morris. Imani Shea. Mariah Sherman. Bria Chazen. Riley Domas. Bria Raymer. Olivia Rowland. Jalen Guzman. Ian Waltos. Salvatore Giordano. Sarah Sopamisai. Joshua Thomas. Shane Merrifield. And James Bestricki. William Margarito. Jake Hoffman. Keon Walker. Joshua Fagerlin. Tyler Engel. Ladina Luca. Nicole Chesak. Sarah Myers. Riley Maxion. Abigail James. Angela Gentileza. Hope Mangan. Ryan Mangan. George Lehman. Ryan Simon. Eric Hegel. And Alden Myers. Angel Minnick. Sammy Esquilin. Katrina Vidota. Janae Brooks. Adelaide Montero Sanchez. And Crystal Clement. Janeri Reyes. Alexis Licata. Essence Gregory. Nadia Brown. Carly Lebrowski. Morgan Doherty. Madison Vinskowski. Holly Sherman. And Raven Rosina.